guys, today we are going to be learning about the middle colonies. But before we start, I do want to point out that your title pages are now going to be due next Thursday, April 9th instead of April 7th. That way you have a little bit more time to work on them. But anyways, let's get started. Please open your textbook to page 107. Follow along as I read aloud at the very beginning. It says New Netherland. In 1609, Henry Hudson claimed the land that is now New York for the Dutch. Then in 1621, the Dutch West India Company decided to set up a colony there. They called it New Netherland. So remember a couple weeks ago, we were talking about how Henry Hudson was searching for the Northwest Passage. When he was searching for the Northwest Passage, he had traveled all along the east coast of North America looking for an opening, a way to get across North America. He never found the Northwest Passage, but instead he found New York Harbor, and it was an excellent place for ships to come in and out. And he went back and he had told the Dutch about this area and how it had not been colonized by any other Europeans. So the Dutch from Netherlands sent over their own colonists and started their own colony, New Netherland. Once again, very original. Okay, I'm going to start reading where it says New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam, present-day Manhattan, was one of the most important settlements in New Netherland. The Dutch had brought the land from the Manhattanese. New Amsterdam had a great natural harbor, which made it perfect for trade. The colony's many natural resources included timber, fish, and fur-bearing animals. It soon was filled with sailors and traders from all over the world. The Dutch were tolerant of different religions and ethnic groups. So remember that in the last lesson we learned that tolerant means that you would tolerate people with all different views. The Dutch were very tolerant. They did not mind they were fine with their different races. They were fine with different religions. They were fine with being different. To attract new settlers, the Dutch West India Company offered land grants to patroons in 1629. Patroons were wealthy Dutch men who agreed to bring 50 people to the colony. However, because settlers had to clear the land themselves and share their crops with the patroons, the system did not attract many colonists. So remember that this area was actually the Eastern Woodlands. And so when the colonists came over, they actually had to slash and burn. It was a lot of work to go into building the colony. And these rich businessmen they were gentlemen, and they didn't want to do the work. So they had a really hard time finding people to come over and actually work on the land. The English take New Netherland. In 1644, King Charles II of England gave his brother James, the Duke of York, a gift. This gift included all the land between the Connecticut and Delaware rivers, including New Netherland. So pause right there. The King of England gave his brother a section of land over here in North America, north of Virginia. He gave that to his brother. His brother was ready to go and get it started and didn't care that there was already another country that had claimed that land. So he, the Duke of York, let's go ahead and start reading again, arrived in the harbor of New Amsterdam with 4 warships. They were ready to battle it out. They were ready to battle for the land. The Duke of York wanted that land, and he was ready to fight for it. Peter Stuyvesant, the fiery governor of New Netherland, wanted to fight them, but the Dutch colonists had no interest in fighting the English. New Netherland fell without firing a shot. The English renamed the colony New York, and New Amsterdam became New York City. The Duke of York gave part of New York to two friends who named it New Jersey in honor of the English island of Jersey. New York and New Jersey would become important English colonies. So here is New York, and here is New Jersey, and then this is Long Island, which is also part of New York colony. And the Dutch, they were perfectly fine with anyone. They didn't care if it were the Netherlands that had colonized there or if it was New York. They were willing to stay there, and the Duke of York was fine with the Dutch staying there as well. Peter Stuyvesant was the only one who was wanting to fight, and you can't really fight 4 warships by yourself. So he ended up just giving that land over, and so New Amsterdam ended up changing its name to New York City, and New Netherland changed its name to New York, which is still around today. Point to where it says event, please. Around 1637, Swedish colonists founded New Sweden along Delaware Bay. Peter Stuyvesant believed the land they settled belonged to the Dutch. In 1655, Stuyvesant captured New Sweden. Today, it is part of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So this is the area that they were talking about right here too. Okay, go ahead and turn to 108, please.